Let's take you live to Goulburn now. The Premier, Dominic Perrottet, making an announcement talking about regional apprentices and university student travel cards. He's getting a few questions from the local media now.
$1,000. These are the changes that we believe will make a real difference. But you can't be static. You've got to keep moving. We've got to. There's nothing more important than giving our children the best opportunities and the best educational outcomes. So I thought on reading those results today, I think there's a lot of positives out of that from a New South Wales perspective. But you know, we've got to be shooting not just for the best results in the country, but the best results in the world, and that's what I want to see here in New South Wales.
What about from a rural perspective, though? Because you're saying it's pleasing in New South Wales wide results, but if you're in the bush, it looks like you're not going to get the results that you'll see.
Yeah, and that's what. Yeah, there's no doubt that we need to have a stronger focus in regional New South Wales, but we have a very strong education system here. Some of the changes that we've made, we know all schools are different, and all schools have different challenges that they face. But you know, the importance of these results is to, if you don't see the impacts, then you can't make the requisite changes. So you know, the Education Minister will certainly look at that and make sure that we're continuing to tailor our programs to ensure that wherever you live in our great state, whether that's in metropolitan Sydney or regional New South Wales, you have the best education possible, and that's what we're focused on. And what we saw today from Labor, once again, are policies with no costing. Labor has a massive black hole in their budget that you could drive a truck through, or 100 of those trucks that I just drove earlier today. And if you can't cost your policies, you can't run the state. And what we're seeing time and time again from Labor is that they're not coming clean on their policy. They're not costing it properly. That has significant impacts on the state's finances and ultimately an impact on the people of our great state.
Today that costed
Sarah.
$103 million sound to New South Wales package to try and bring back these lost music venues. Can your government do one better?
Well, Labor can promise anything, but they can't deliver anything as well. They've got a massive black hole in their budget you could drive a truck through. So whatever they promise, they can't be trusted. It's only the Liberals and Nationals with a long-term economic plan to keep New South Wales moving forward. That's what we've demonstrated over the time in government, whether it's our infrastructure investment, over $178 billion of infrastructure since coming to office, $116 billion over the next 4 years. That's schools, hospitals, motorways, metros. These are the things that make a real difference to people's lives.
What about live music?
Well, and I will say that live music, we worked very closely with the industry during the pandemic to keep them thriving, and we'll have something more to say about that shortly. But what I can say is Labor can promise everything, but they'll always deliver very little because they can't afford it, because there's a massive black hole in their budget.
Just from those buyback offers,
I'll come, please.
250 offers by April, is that fast?
Well, change takes time. This has been a very difficult time in those areas. I've spent over a month of the last 12 months in regional New South Wales in flood-affected communities. I know the challenges firsthand and work very closely with those communities. Every individual circumstance is different. Every individual circumstance is different. We've had many homes that have been destroyed. There are others that haven't. What's important is that we don't have a one-size-fits-all approach. We work very closely with members of the community in relation to the buyback scheme. Now, as part of the consultation that I undertook during that period of time in the Northern Rivers, it's very clear to me the importance of the buyback scheme to many members of the local community, and we're working very closely with them on that. What's most important is that we get it right. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a long journey that will take years to make sure we build back in a more resilient way. We want to keep the culture of our great towns in the Northern Rivers. They're wonderful, wonderful communities. We want to keep them strong, but at the same time build back in a stronger and more resilient way. That's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, and it's going to happen with continued consultation with our local communities to get it right. We've put the funding on the table. We've got the processes in place, and I believe the approach we've taken will ensure a stronger Northern Rivers for generations to come.
Premier.
Liz.
Chris, do you want to? Are you going on Liz more again? Or?
Okay.
Do you want to just finish this one?
Yeah.
What are the considerations?
That's where we leave Dominic Perrottet. He is in Goulburn. He's going to walk through the streets as well and meet some voters. So we'll see if we can dip back to that a little later.